Loose Women turned 20 this year. Yes, we did. Our 20th birthday. And to mark that... Thank you. Oh, that was a bit limp. 20 years. Thank you. Thank you. And to mark that special occasion, we've been taking a look back at our Loose Women's lives before they joined the show. And today is the turn of Coleen Nolan. She's a bit nervous,
Well,
aren't you, Cole?
I don't like this.
Don't be nervous. It's a fascinating...
I feel like you've all ganged up on me.
It's a fascinating story. Coleen, as you know, has been part of the Loose family for almost all of those 20 years. But I want to rewind back to the 12th of March, 1965. Coleen was born, the youngest of 8 children. There she is, to Maureen and Tommy. So that's 8 kids, 2 parents, Cole. So that's 10 of you.
Yes.
Living in a quite small house.
A really small little terrace.
Quite hard times?
For me, for us as kids, no, I loved it. I loved my younger days. I loved the noise. There was 10 of us in a house. It was a little terraced 3.5-bedroom house with 1 tiny bathroom.
We were like top to tail in beds. And...
Oh, there was 4 of us. There was 2 sets of bunk beds in 1 room. I just got shimmied around every room. Well, when I was first born, I was in a drawer. They put me in a drawer. Yes. Bottom drawer, not even top. Yeah. Story of my life. And, yeah, so it was just... But I loved the chaos and the noise and it was just a very... I've got nothing but the majority of time some lovely memories. But, yeah, it was... I mean, my brothers had to go to the pub to go to the toilet. So they could never get in the bathroom. There were 6 girls.
But was it quite hard to compete with so many of you to get your voice heard for anything?
This is going to shock you all. I was very quiet as a child.
Oh!
And that's why I talk so much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I was really... Yes, of course it was. But what we were good at, and we still do this when we're together, we could all be sitting around the dinner table. You know, my mum made dinner every night. And we'd all sit around the table and we could have 5 or 6 conversations going on at the same time and still be able to answer each person from each conversation. And we can still do that now, and it fascinates people outside the family. They'll go, you've just had 3 conversations in one and you all know what the other one's talking about. But, yeah, you know, yes, you had to... I just learned to sit back and watch.
With your mum having such a big family, how did she cope at anniversaries, birthdays, Christmases and that sort of thing?
Well, you know what, this is what... I mean, I've got such a wonderful memory of childhood because my mum and my dad made it so special, especially those occasions. Christmas was a massive event in our house. And it's only now, when I look back, it was so hard, really, for my mum and dad, because we didn't have money. Certainly not enough for 8
like
kids.
One present
We'd get
each
one present from Santa.
Yeah.
And they'd never wrap them. Your present would be sitting under the tree, and it was just magical. And they never went to bed from Christmas Eve till Boxing Day night, because Christmas Eve they'd be up, because they had to wait for all of us to go to bed, 8 of us, and then they'd stay up all night sorting all the presents out, so they never went to bed. And I found out later on, much later in my life, I was in my 20s, late 20s, that actually one Christmas my mum pawned her wedding and engagement rings.
Really?
Because they didn't have enough money, so she never got them back, you know, she just gave them away.
Your mum and dad were entertainers, weren't they?
Yeah.
Before all of you came along.
Yeah, that's how they met, yeah.
And that's how they met. And then, what was it? Your dad was still performing and appearing in clubs and stuff like that?
Yes, my mum and dad were still performing, and then obviously with each pregnancy my mum would get to a point where obviously she'd have to stop to have the baby, which made me... I mean, the stories, you know, she'd hop on the bus when she was in labour because my dad would be out. My dad had a day job and worked in the evening singing. And then my mum would just phone and go, right, I'm on the bus, I'm off to have the next one, and just go off on her own. You know, and it's now, you know, when I complain about things now with your own kids, and I have to stop myself because I go, my mum had 8 of us with no washing machine, no dishwasher, no freezer. She didn't drive, and every day she shopped. So every day I'd see my mum, she's only 5 foot, nothing. And every day I'd see her walking down the shops with like 5 or 6 carrier bags because everything was fresh. And like now when I sit there and go, oh, God, the dishwasher's broken. You know, or the washer... I've got to hand wash, you know, and I just...
You were only 2 years old when you started kind of joining the family, and that was, you know, 2, 3 years old for... That was working men's clubs, pubs.
Yeah.
So what was that? What do you remember as a young child? Look at you. Look, you're took about 3
Yeah,
there.
we did. I started when I was 2, and then apparently when I was born, the first thing they said was, "I hope she can sing." They didn't say what is she. They didn't ask what sex I was. We weren't looking forward to me walking. It was just, "I hope she can sing."
And you
Sadly,
could.
I let them down. No, I didn't. Anyway, yeah. So I started at 2, and we did all the working men's clubs, but all around the country. So sometimes we'd be travelling 5-6 hours in a minibus. My mum made all our clothes with the help of my Auntie Teresa. And just getting us all together. And we'd work in these, we'd do 4 spots a night in these working men's clubs. And obviously sometimes, you know, with drink involved and everything, and it'd be a haze of smoke, you know, when people could smoke. I remember one night, Bernie, we were singing Danny Boy as the family, and this pint glass just came flying past my head because there was a whole fight. Bernie was singing Where Is Love, you know, from Oliver. She was only about 8. And there is chairs being thrown across this club, and my dad in the wind's going, "Keep singing!" And Bernie's like, "Where is love?" It's like, just keep going. But yeah, you know what? I guess it was hard. You know, I mean, school, forget it. We'd get home 3-4 in the morning. And it was, again, my mum would have to stay up and try and get us all up for school. And, yeah, it was hard, but I didn't know any different.
No.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit about your dad. I know you feel tremendous love for your dad, but he was a tough character, wasn't he? And he drank a lot.
Yeah.
And how did that impact on family life?
The thing about my dad is he never drank, like, during the day. You know, he wasn't from the time he got up type of drinker, but when he went out, and certainly to the clubs, because he was really, really popular, my dad, everyone loved him. And he used to drink brandy and, you know... And the thing about my dad is I loved him until he'd had too much to drink. And then I found him scary because he was quite argumentative when he was drunk. So you'd know, like, on a Saturday, my mum always made stew on a Saturday because all the men would go to the pub and watch football or whatever all day, and the stew was always on. And I used to have that dread of about 7, 8 o'clock. I think, oh, he's going to be home soon, because I'd know he'd come in looking for an argument with my mum. And my mum was quite a fiery kind of, you know, Irish woman. But I'd be sitting there thinking, don't answer him back, don't answer. Because I think if you don't answer him back, he won't carry on.
Is that why you don't drink?
I think that was what started... I do have a bit of a drink phobia. I'm not against people drinking, but as soon as their personality starts to change, which inevitably it does... That's when I go, I've got to go, because I go back to being that 4 or 5-year-old of, I don't like it. I don't like when people feel out of control.
No. Well, let's go back to something nicer. We talked there about how young you were when you started. Your first TV appearance was with Sir Cliff Richard. Well, not Sir then.
Yes.